Okay. There, yeah. Switch all my settings over. Okay, there I am. Okay. Come on, come on. Sorry I'm so late. Hey, Tuck Girl, how you doing? I was watching this, was catching up on the coverage of that missing woman out of Tucson, Arizona, Nancy Guthrie, and I was also preparing for tomorrow's Super Bowl nails. One of our new subscribers had come up with an idea of doing the teams that are in the Super Bowl. So I am, excuse me, I'm going to prep some nails and then I am going to, once I prep them, kind of figure out where I am from there. But I'm going to do it tonight because I've got some that, like using this color that I need to dry overnight, etc. And I figured I'd do that. We could talk about what's new in the missing Nancy Guthrie, which big stuff happened tonight, and um and get ready for tomorrow. So, because I'll be on at some point during the Super Bowl. Every TV in my house will be um taken. So, yeah. So I'll be on my computer. Oh, how cool! Ooh, that sounds fun. I need to get my looms back out. I keep saying that, but someday, maybe when my children are all grown and let's see. Okay, let me take a sip. So I figured there was absolutely no point. Oh, that sounds cute. Aw, cute. If anybody in here follows JLR, he was live at the here, I'll glue some nails while I'm talking. He was live at the house of Nancy Guthrie's daughter, Annie. And he said that all the press had packed up for the night. Hey, Lisa, how you doing? And that all the press had packed up for the night. Everybody was going home. and all of a sudden, all these unmarked white vehicles start swarming in the driveway of Annie Guthrie, who is Nancy Guthrie's daughter's house, which is, now I don't know exactly what the distance is because I've heard Ashley Banfield keeps saying 4 miles. Everyone else I've heard keeps saying 10 miles. So it's somewhere in between there. But investigators were seen going in to the house. They were seen. Now, this was about 10 o'clock. I think they said 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock their time. They were bringing in big metal cases, which, I mean, those of us that are true crime fans know what those cases, the silver case is. It's the most likely a camera, a piece of equipment, and see, that's what I'm wondering. Did she ever actually make it home, or was that just someone dropping her car off? But the pacemaker. That's the only thing, is the pacemaker. Was she in the car? I mean, you just don't know. But that's what I'm wondering. I mean, and of course, it's none of our business, but part of me wonders about, my mom was, the husband is a teacher, and he's in a band. My mom was a teacher. Teachers, if you know a teacher or related to a teacher, they aren't rich people. They're civil service workers. They don't make much money. And then he's also in a band. She's a poet, has authored a few books, but I mean, I don't see poets getting that rich. And I'm thinking out loud of stuff that I have heard today. She and her husband moved into that house about a year ago. And anyone that's bought a house that's trying to better their lives or whatever knows that first year is usually the hardest as far as getting to the groove of paying the bills, getting the mortgage set, all that stuff. I don't know if they owned a house before that, but if it was a first house, then it's definitely, So I just wonder, was there any money issues? I looked up and found that the house that she lived in is quite valuable. I mean, it's almost $1 million house. And it's almost completely paid off. There's a lot of equity. And if somebody were having some issues, maybe they needed to speed the process up. Now, I don't know if it's just my hope or what, but something in my gut tells me that Annie is maybe not involved. Unless it happened at the house and she was there. But, because it's odd. JLR had reported that there were flashes going on. Like camera flashes. The lights were out in the home, but there were flashes going on. See, and that's what I'm wondering. Did something happen? Did they get in an argument? And, and she had like a heart attack and they didn't want to admit it. Or, no, it said that there was like almost $890,000 in equity. That was like according to like one of those like Zillow apps. So I mean, it's not exact, but one of the things I keep going back to is that everybody keeps saying, her rich daughter, Annie and her husband, I don't think had a lot of money. I think they were probably just paying bills, getting by like most of us. Now, I don't know anything about the brother other than he's like retired military. But those guys don't get rich either, And then you have Savannah, but I mean, just because someone makes a lot of money doesn't always mean that they have a lot of money, if that makes sense. And well, see, that's what I was kind of surprised about. So, but maybe there was a loan or something. Um, well, and that's it, if they were living above their means, and I guess one of his bandmates has quite an extensive criminal record, and the other bandmate, funny enough, is a federal defense attorney. So, or another thought just popped into my head. Did mom refinance her house to help them get this one? Or at least a little bit of it to get some equity out of it? A house that was maybe paid for. And maybe there was an argument about the money being paid back, It happens in families. It happens a lot. Especially, I know with my mom, as she got older, she was really counting every penny. And, well, and that's exactly it. Just because you make a lot of money doesn't mean that you saved a lot of money. Um, people, like we said, like you just said, girl, they live above their means all the time. And people do really, it's almost like addicts. When people are in trouble for money or have money issues, they are willing to do just about anything. It's one of the most stressful things people go through. And so, I mean, just look at, like I said, look at those of us that are the true crime followers. We see it all the time. Exactly. And there's something weird going on. They keep talking. I mean, and then you get the I don't know whether or not there was a third communication from the alleged kidnappers, but the family came out again today with another statement. And well, and exactly, yeah, exactly, Lisa. um Generations live and think differently. That is so true. And um but this is really bugging me. Like we said, did she make it home that night at all? Did something happen in that house? And they took Nancy's car. They showed up last night at about the same time of night, actually. Took her car. And maybe it was just, we don't have any leads, so let's do anything we can. But, well, and see, that's what we don't know yet, is insurance policies, things like that. But, I mean, I would assume she did. She worked for the University of Arizona. So I'm sure she had some kind of retirement pension, life insurance that, usually, I mean, you would think, you've got, it's just, I heard that too. And I heard that he was too. But I don't know if that person meant, by way of him being married to Annie or not. And that would make sense, being that she was the one that lived there, and was close to it. I mean, and let's face it, any of us that have had an elderly parent know that, especially their mother, they can get saucy sometimes, they get sassy. And I don't know, I just wonder. Or if there was an argument on the porch, there's that blood spatter all over the porch. Did maybe he take her home and try to discuss something with her? Or did she try to discuss something with him, saying, I really need that money back? I mean, it's just, I know one thing that seems to be fact. Well, and this is the other weird thing. Sorry, I don't mean to yell. I'm just getting excited. So one of the very first things that has been supposed fact in this case was the whole entire reason why she was reported missing in the first place was that there was a call to family because she was not seen in church. And that's been the story all along. Well, then all of a sudden, was it yesterday? It comes out that no, she hasn't attended physical church in quite a while. And this that she joins via, it was at first it was said Zoom, but Megan Kelly corrected today that it isn't Zoom, it's just like a feed that people can go and watch. And it was not believed that anyone could, see whether or not someone was logged in or not. So, and that happened at about 11 o'clock. And that they then went looking for Nancy. So I'm assuming went looking around maybe at the grocery store. Well, see, that was the thing. I've heard two different things. I've heard it was a virtual church, and then I've heard it was just like a feed, like that, like a live feed that no one actually, kind of like a YouTube feed, that unless you actually said something on there, you weren't logged in, like as far as anyone could see. But my thought with that is if she was normally like a talker in there, said good morning or whatever, and people hadn't seen her say good morning, then maybe that was it. But whatever it was, they felt that it was very suspicious that family was called, which it's got to be Annie and Tommaso because they're the ones that live there. I mean, I assume we haven't heard of any other family in the area. And that they searched around for her for about an hour. So, and then went to the home, discovered her missing, and called like around 11:57, and called the police. It just, now this is the thing. Is it them giving different accounts? Or is it law enforcement giving different accounts? Is this sheriff just extremely confused because, wow, I mean, and I get it. This has got to be one of the most stressful situations to be in charge of on the face of earth. He just seems so out of it, out of the loop. He's blurting out stuff that he shouldn't be. I don't know. I had heard a rumor that FBI had completely taken over the investigation, but it was the sheriff's department that was doing the search. Thank you, driver. Yeah, I forgot to say that. Yeah, if anyone's in here is new, please hit that big thumbs up for me and the subscribe. I really appreciate it. I'm trying to grow my channel, and that is a quick free way you can help me get out in front of more people into that algorithm. Yeah, and see, I used to go to a church like that, and they had the different streams, and on Facebook, the moderators you could see, and they would say hi to people, and certain people, because they were older, like I've mentioned before, I had a client that she was 103 years old, and after the vid, she didn't want to go to church anymore. She was scared of getting sick, and I mean, I don't blame her. And excuse me, I'm looking for a polish while I'm talking. But she would do the virtual church through Facebook, and she would check in because all of her relatives lived in Missouri. So there wasn't anyone close to her, even remotely close to her. Um, and then I had numbers of family members. So, if she didn't show up for her hair appointment, the girl she went to get her nails done at, which isn't that funny? That just says a lot about women, especially older women, is that she wouldn't go to church after the vid because she was afraid of getting sick, but she would go get her hair and her nails done. Okay. And she would drive, as scary as it was, all the other little ladies in the retirement complex to the store, to get their hair done, all that stuff. But so that's the only thing I can think. But now they're saying, now people are wondering if that's not the case, if it is just like a live feed that no one monitors, it's just stream only. Then how would someone know to call? That she wasn't there. Who was it that called? We've already got this guy that supposedly, and I believe it happened on the same day, is kind of what it sounded like. I'm not positive, so this is not fact. It's just what I believe I heard. It was the day that they got those text messages from the hoaxer, was the same day that same day or shortly before they got the other ransom note. I'm not sure the order. So if it is family and something happened, did that give them the idea to then send a more believable note? I mean, this is just, and I said it last night, one of the thoughts. What if someone she knew was working with someone that worked at her home, either doing the pool service or the groundskeeping or, the maid service? We are talking about missing Nancy Guthrie out of Tucson, Arizona, and her daughter's house was just searched. And we are also preparing to do some nail art for tomorrow for the Super Bowl in honor of both teams. Didn't they say it the first one? Annie and Tommaso went over that. See, exactly. They did. They said it was an hour before they went to the house. Now, it sounds like they went out searching for her first for an hour and then went to the house. So that's the thing. Is this them changing their story? Or is it just the sheriff misspeaking, because he seems to do that a lot, according to himself? The wording of the statement from the family this time was, I see, and I don't know, I'm not a psychiatrist or anything, but I felt like, I felt like they didn't have the hope in their faces that they did during the first message. Now, maybe that's because, the first deadline is come and gone, and, it's day 7 now, technically in my neck of the woods, day 8, that this 84-year-old woman with health issues has been missing. See, that's it too. And it was the back door that was open? And they haven't said whether it was, someone said kicked in, someone said open. But I noticed also today, and it was on a couple of news briefings, that the floodlights were taken down from that backyard, and that was one of the things that Harvey Levin had said. They talked about in one of those letters was the smashed floodlights. Exactly. It's just, it's so odd. And my thought is that, if it had to do with Savannah, then why wouldn't they have sent, if they were going to send them to a family member, why wouldn't they have sent them to Savannah? I mean, because if they're asking for millions of dollars in Bitcoin, they're not getting it from a teacher and a poet. Let's be honest, But I keep thinking it's odd that we haven't seen this Tommaso since all this happened. Tommaso, excuse me, Tommaso. But we also haven't seen the other spouses either. So, but I guess to me, if I were the spouse being accused, and I didn't do it, I'd be right there next to everybody else asking to bring her back. I don't know. I'm hoping. They said that it was approximately, that they had said it was going to be approximately 10 hours after they received the Bitcoin, that they would take them approximately 10 hours to return her. So Harvey Levin had drawn up that radius map about where they could be. But that doesn't really mean anything. It could mean that they're going to wait for dark. So did they pay? Or are they taking this seriously, or is this all an elaborate setup? See, I do too. What I'm hoping, if he did do it, is that Annie didn't know anything about it. That maybe her odd behavior is because in the pit of her stomach, she knows. Maybe they've told her that they know that he did this, and she's trying to play along to catch him. I mean, can you imagine? I mean, it happens every day, I know, but the people that are tasked with taking care of you and keeping you safe, I don't know. Maybe it wasn't that easy taking care of her. And maybe there was some resentment, when my grandfather was sick, my uncle was the one that took it all on. They lived out of state, and we lived here, and my aunt lived on the other side of the United States, and there were days where he felt very resentful that he didn't have the same freedom that my mom and her sister did, and I absolutely understand that. It's a big task taking care of a saucy little elderly person. And yeah, it was weird. And her statement was weird. Like, that didn't even sound, it was almost like, well, and maybe she's just like kind of artistic and kind of not, has a different way of saying and doing stuff because, being a poet. But the difference between the statement that her sister put out and then when she read from her paper, it was just, I don't know, it was just weird, and it didn't, I don't know these people, but it didn't feel quite as gut-wrenching as, like, Savannah's statement did. And I feel like, and maybe I'm breaking it down too much, but the way that they were sitting and all three of them holding hands, I think that was a sign of, to people, to the alleged kidnappers, that they are united, that they're, um, I don't know. And, or did they get news that the other theory going around is that they did get communication, did get news, and that news was that she's no longer with us. And so now this is a task, for dignity and respect's sake, that they get her back. To be able to, they talked about, to celebrate with her, that it was the only way that they would have peace, and that this is really important to us. Not she is really important to us. Everything just kind of switched. And I mean, maybe they are just so emotionally drained and numb at this point that this is just the outcome. This is how they're handling it physically, mentally. I mean, I don't know. I've never been in that situation, and pray I never have to be. I don't know. Nobody's gonna come get me. I'm fat. I have a bunch of bills. I never carry cash. Well, that's kind of what I wondered too, is it just was kind of odd. And Savannah really seemed like, oh, you could just see the wear and tear in her face. But the sister looked like, she had washed and dried her hair and maybe had a little bit of powder and some lip gloss on. And I just thought that wouldn't have been... Oh gosh, after my mom passed, I don't think I did my hair and my makeup for a month or more, at least. I just didn't care. Well, and that's what I'm wondering too. Is it because that first deadline was missed, and now the second one, according to Harvey Levin, how did he put that? Basically, the consequences will be worse, basically. I cannot remember the exact words he used, if they missed that last deadline, and I'm assuming that's ending her life, that's it, we're done. Because it was said that in that last transmission, they said we are in what was not a ransom letter, because it did not talk about it didn't ask for any more ransom or anything like that. It just basically said, do this. If you don't do this by Friday at 5, and then we're gonna do something else. Maybe they have meds for her, and they're holding her, and they said, you have till Monday morning to give us your next deadline. You have till Monday morning, or we quit her meds, or we do something to her. Or she's done. That's it. What's hard is that we're trying to think of this with regular brains, as regular as we can be. We're not thinking of this like a evil person. Because that's the only thing that you can say about the person that did this. Because who in the world would have reason to do anything to an 84-year-old woman? Yes, that we've been told. That was... It just was... it sent shivers down my spine. It's very grave. And usually, they say you don't pay without proof of life. But, um, yeah, this instead of her, that bugged me. That's what I felt like they were looking to recover her, not rescue her. And that, with being that I just went through all that with my mom, with her funeral, we had two get-togethers, one for the community and one for family, and we called them celebrations of life, because that's what it really is about. I mean, a funeral, the person that's gone is gone. They're for the living, and yeah, exactly, celebration of life, and that's the only way we'll have peace. And yeah, I mean, you never would have peace if you just thought she was out there somewhere, gone. And she sounded like a very faithful religious woman, and that would be a sad thought for her not to have, final rights. Episcopalian is, um, part of my family was Episcopalian, and it was, um, at least where we went, it was very similar to like Catholic. Because then when I got married, my ex-husband's family was Catholic, and um, I remember asking my granddad one time when I was younger what the difference was, and he said we kneel like 2 less times during that mass. That's really all it is. So, and anyone that is either Catholic or Episcopalian, I mean no disrespect. It was just a family joke that basically I was bugging my grandfather and he wanted me to buzz off, so he gave me that answer. Um, but no, this just wasn't something like that's this elaborate, wasn't random. And I wonder why they took her car. If she Ubered there, they've checked the Uber and there was an Uber ride there. I mean, and yeah, you want to check everything, and what else gets me is yesterday with the search, when they were up on the roof of the guest house, yeah, getting the camera, okay. But then why were they crawling down on the ground looking under the AC unit and all the duct work? Do they think that somebody was up there watching her? So again, maybe he didn't directly do this, but did someone know that Tommaso was going to drop her off about 9:45? I mean, exactly. And I almost feel like if you thought that, okay, listen, we're going to pay and we're going to get her back because that's what these people are saying, and they're keeping faith that she's still alive. If they really are, because, they say the FBI it's not their recommendation to pay without proof of life. Okay, I get it. I get it. I can't say I would want to do that if it were my mom, but I understand, because look at already one sicko who has decided to make a big joke out of this or to try and get something out of this, and which I've heard he's in deep doo-doo, like possible 10 years worth of doo-doo. So I hope that was worth your little funny haha, and well, and see, that's what I was wondering last night when I was watching it. I'm like, oh, so help me. If that poor woman has been there the whole time, or if they've released the crime scene back to the family 3 times, would they have once they thought that the house was theirs again, gone and put her like back in that guest house up, or again, was somebody up there watching her? Um, I'm gonna have to find it for my crime cast. There is a story that I watched, and it was about um shoot, I'm trying to think of where I saw it at. I'll find it again. I'm a really good finder on Google and all that stuff. Um, but it was about a woman who she was being stalked. It was one of those the calls coming from inside the house deals. And she had been being stalked and she couldn't. And the end result was that they found out that this guy he'd come in to like fix something in her home or something like that. And had left the window open or something like that when he was there. And then when she went, to work or went about her regular life, he snuck in and he ended up moving and living upstairs in the upstairs apartment above her, just watching. Yes, they both had new roofs put on. So, you know what? Maybe that's where that difference in the house being paid off and not. Because I know with my mom, she had bought a furnace, she needed a new furnace. And the way that she got a loan for it. And the way that they worked it out was they put a lien against the equity in your house. So say, the furnace costs $10,000 and you had $20,000 in equity, you would then only have $10,000 in equity until you paid this off. Well, and see, that's it. But they found that was the thing too. The sheriff, the whole comment about the cameras. I'm glad you said that because it reminded me. So we've got all this muck around the cameras. Okay. Sheriff says first, I believe he said no cameras. Then when Brian Enton went over there and saw that there was the bracket on the front of the house where the camera had been taken off, and the sheriff said, yes, we noticed that. We're investigating that. We noticed that. Well, then Ashley Banfield's source says that the cameras were smashed. The sheriff says that's just a rumor. We don't, blah, blah, blah. Gets all huffy and has a fit. Hey, Roman. Totally for real. If you haven't, hit the thumbs up and the subscribe for me, please. So, yeah. And then we see last night FBI agents on the roof of her guest house, and those two female FBI agents were unscrewing another camera, a camera that looked like it was looking at the back door of the house. And we saw the smashed floodlights that were sitting there dangling from their socket. Yeah. And that's what I'm wondering is, did somebody put up, was there another camera? Was that her camera that they removed? Or did someone put one up there that looked just like the other cameras so that they could watch her? And what phone got the alerts that there was movement? Was it Nancy's phone? Was it Annie's phone or Tommaso's phone? Like, I would think there would be a way to maybe have the alerts go to two phone numbers. Like, we were talking last night about those life alert bracelets and necklaces and stuff like that. That people get their elderly relatives that live alone, stuff like that. Um, I don't know. And like I said, it still bugs me because I don't see if it were going to be like a kidnapping for money. Like maybe opportunity, but it seems like there's so many other people that they would get, that they could get so much more money out of to make it worth it. That if they're literally asking for a couple $1,000,000. I mean, but again, more famous, richer people usually have security, things like that. But I'm just top coating these because I am going to do some nail art and some different stuff on them tomorrow. But I figured get them all done now because we don't have to do the boring stuff tomorrow. Well, and see, that's it. That's what I was thinking too, is if they can get... That could have been one of the reasons why they were over there. If they're starting to see that someone that his cell phone was there, or whoever's it was, we still don't know about the condition of the house inside. What was the crime scene at Nancy's or was it at Annie's? I mean, if they're taking all those pictures, like I said, it's dark, all the lights are off, and they're seeing nothing but camera flashes. That, to me, sounds like luminol, right? And luminol can detect biologicals, but it can also detect evidence of things being cleaned up with bleach, cleaner, things like that. So is that, and then, so we've got the statement by Trump, was he blurting out stuff that he wasn't supposed to say? I mean, because whether you're for him or against him, he's a blurter, okay? I mean, he just is. And was he supposed to say all of that yesterday? Was that true? Again, was that meant to throw people off? I mean, he does have a somewhat... He knows her because she has interviewed him on a few occasions, and it didn't really go his way. But I don't know. I think if it were something political, or if it were something like with the cartel or whatever, they've talked about, it would have been handled a lot more professionally, maybe. Let's see. Let me try and pronounce this so I don't mess up your name. Donal, did I say it right? Have you been following the Nancy Guthrie disappearance? Do you have an opinion? Excuse me. Do you have an opinion on? Is this a real kidnapping? Did someone in her family take her? Do you think this has to do with her high-profile daughter? Yeah, they did that in the Alex Murdaugh case, and found... That's how they found Maggie's phone. That's how they found out that his phone was pinging right there at about the same moment that her phone was dropped. I mean, they could even tell if the phone was like thrown or dropped or. And that's the thing. Technology is scary. I mean, like I said yesterday, and I haven't even talked about them since this woman went missing, the Teppies. And all of a sudden I get this suggested friend, Spencer Teppy, and it's his Facebook account. And I'm like, oh, like that. It was kind of scary. It was one of those kind of gulp moments because you think, man, like from a week ago, my phone is now trying to get me connected with a victim in a high profile case and like personally. Like that's I mean, I want to follow these and I am interested in the outcome and what happens and what different law enforcement branches do, to solve these and my heart goes out to anybody that goes through something horrible like this, but I don't want to know them personally, I don't want to. I mean, JLR's out there streaming, or he was. I don't think he is anymore because that was what took me so long. Is I just wanted to make sure that if there was anything breaking that, I didn't come with a half of a report, but I don't know. So back to what I was saying earlier, is they said like 10 hours, so this could be. When that came out, it was about 6:30, 6 o'clock, 6:30, and I know that because I was being a lazy mom tonight, and it's Saturday, and I decided to order pizza instead of cook anything. Which reminds me, I still have to take meat out of the freezer, but my job are never done. But let's see, what is there? Let's see, they can request. Well, and see, that's what I'm wondering too. Like, say it's staff. If they see that there's staff that shows up at 2 o'clock in the morning, then they know, they're not supposed to be there. They're not. Another thing that did kind of make me sad, I want everything to go great for this lady, but I also think about, I was in another chat the other day, and we were talking about missing children, and I had looked up the data, and it's something like 840,000 children go missing each year, and like 2,500 children go missing each week in the United States. And I mean, I know this woman is important to her family. They love her, and if something like this happened to my mom, I would want the cavalry to come out and find her. But it also kind of is a reminder of not everybody has the cavalry that care enough when you're missing. And I don't know, it's just one of those moments, Ooh, I had a bunch of that uncured underneath there, so that's good to get that off. I always do that when I'm doing the polish, just rub these edges if I'm doing like the press-ons, because sometimes it does blop over the edge. And do it after on your own nails to get that extra uncured stuff off of there. Don't nobody have time for that stuff. But yeah. Hopefully, whatever has happened, this brings some answers, and they can find this woman one way or another. I mean, they'd said at the beginning that the medication she was having to be on is, you know, could be fatal within, if she doesn't have it within 24 hours. So, oh, it's so sad. It's so sad. And living in Michigan, um, we have a very high population of um, people that belong to the First Nation, and the amount of indigenous women that have gone missing without a trace is just mind blowing, and nobody cares, you know. Well, I mean, people care, but the people that are supposed to search and find them and make them important, they don't always care, sadly, or they're overwhelmed because there's so many. But um, I used to live in the Flint area, and there were a bunch of unsolved SA and R cases. And part of the reason why they weren't solved is because, if anyone, I'm sure everyone knows, most people know about Flint. It was a dying city that didn't have enough money. And if you haven't, go on Netflix and watch Flint Town, the documentary. It's like 10 or 11 episodes, but it really is really eye-opening into a city that was, well, originally, the city was actually, this is what I find kind of funny, and this goes back to the indigenous people. Back in, it was early 1800s, a man named Jacob Smith came through and befriended the indigenous tribes that were here and helped them get land and helped them sign land treaty and get parcels through the government. But one of the other things that he also did was, and these were given for free. But what he also did was he had all of his daughters and sons and his wives changed to indigenous names, and they each got a parcel of land free from the government as payment for helping the tribes get land. So it really wasn't completely honest. He wasn't doing it. So that's the very, very first, and all of those parcels of land eventually became a greater part of Flint. So that is how Flint started. So maybe it was kind of cursed from the beginning, you know? See, that's the thing. They haven't said whether her meds were missing or whether they took them. They said that she's on medicine that she cannot be without for 24 hours. And so that's my question. Is Annie really taking care of her and keeping up on her? Did she know that she had gotten meds filled or not? Did she know she was actually taking her meds? And so, yeah. Or if this was someone that knew her, did they already have a supply to go with her? And they still haven't said what the meds are. And part of me is wondering if they're not saying it because they don't want, if someone does have her, they don't want them to, I don't know, that wouldn't make sense to say they don't want them to, you would think that they'd want them to know, so maybe to keep her alive, maybe they didn't know she was on meds, and to keep her alive, they would go try to get them, and that would be a mistake that they would make and get caught. But well, and that's the thing is the way the family was talking today, it just really seemed like everything had shifted in the way that they were. And maybe it's just the fact that maybe they're thinking, maybe that's nothing confirmed. Maybe that's just their thinking because of the meds, because they're thinking the same thing we are, is that if she didn't have them, you know, then she's probably gone by now. But you just don't know. And I mean, our little fragile grandmas and moms and stuff, they sometimes sometimes they're tougher than we think. I mean, my ex-husband's grandmother, she was like 100 and she was in a nursing home, and her normal nurse during the day was sick, and they sent in a male nurse to try and give her a sponge bath. And that lady weighed 85 pounds soaking wet. But he said all he was trying to pull her blankets down to start to undress her to get her sponge bath, and all of a sudden this little tiny arm came flying out of the blanket and popped him right in the eye, you know, and gave him a black eye. I mean, he didn't want to go back to work the next day. So, blood thinners, antiarrhythmic medications, or beta blockers. Yeah, see, that's what's right. It's got to be something, most likely blood thinners, and yeah, it would have to be medications that had to do with, and could she possibly also be diabetic on top of that? Something like that, where she would need insulin. That's something we don't know why my mom passed away, and that's something that we have been wondering. Did she all of a sudden have a sugar drop? Because of another medication that she was on that had been doing that to her. Was it one of her heart meds that she forgot to take? You just don't know. And that's going to be a key thing. And I'm hoping that, let me see. You go out in the world and peek and just see if I see anything. I don't see anything as far as... Yeah, nobody's live anymore, so... they're probably going to take back whatever they got, analyze it, talk to the family. But gosh, maybe we'll wake up tomorrow to some good news. Well, not... I just keep trying to hope that maybe, like I said, that she's tougher than we think, and for her family's sake and her grandbaby's sake, and who knows, maybe Annie is just as much of a victim in this as her mother is, and maybe, like I said, she's doing everything she can to kind of hold it down. Yeah, and see, that's it too. It could be something as simple as if they do take the meds, but maybe they give her Tylenol, or maybe they don't know that she's diabetic, and so they don't feed her often to keep her sugar up, or they feed her too much and she ends up having, too much. I mean, you just don't know. You don't know, and I just feel so bad for this little lady, and sadly, she probably, I mean, I don't want to put it out there, but she probably, we don't even know, honestly, at this point, with this search warrant happening, we don't even know if she made it home from dinner. I mean, think about it. Maybe that blood on the front porch was him trying to carry her in, and she coughed or something because she was flung over his shoulder. And maybe it had nothing to do with it. My mom, because of her blood pressure and stuff and her blood thinners that she would take, she could sneeze and get a bad bloody nose all of a sudden, just out of the blue. And, you live in the desert where it's dry, and so that could have happened the day before. She could have walked out to get the mail, sneezed, and boom. Or, you just don't know. And I understand us not knowing everything. Because if whatever we know, whoever did this to her is going to know also. That's just a given. But let's see. I am going to try something with this one. Wish I could have found some hot green glitter. That would have been cool. Ooh, I've got some in the other room, I think. Um, well, and that's just it. I mean, and that was something else that I was watching someone else earlier, and they pointed out if you look in some of the pictures, her hands were very bruised. There was another picture where she looked like she had a bandage on her arm where her skin probably could have split, something like that. You know, they're like my mom's skin was so just paper thin, and you know that sometimes they barely bump themselves, and they can just bleed all over the place. And so was it something like that that it maybe this is just a thought. Maybe it was just an argument that went bad, like I think Lisa had said earlier, and a small little tap maybe became a lethal wound. Let's say this. Let's say he drops her off. They get in a little argument. He does something, pushes her something. She hurts herself. She gets ready for bed. She bleeds out in the house. He actually does find her that morning and takes her somewhere. I mean, because he doesn't want to be blamed and comes up with this elaborate story, and that's why a lot of it isn't matching up. Where did Annie and her mother get in an argument and something happened? And Tommaso being, is it Tommaso? Yeah. Being the good husband was the cleanup guy. And not really that great at coming up with cleanup story, you know? Good grief. Hands are not wanting to work. It's so hard because all the information that they've given, it's so all over the place. And so it kind of worries you because you think, is this investigation really this all over the place? Or are we truly getting to see in real time the up and down, back and forth, round and round that, so I'm sure that's part of it no matter what, but that these investigators see and go through just to be able to try and solve one of these cases. And I'm wondering, oh, that was the other thing that I forgot about. Earlier, FBI agents were seen going into the sheriff's department with what looked like maps. They were in there about an hour and they came back out with the same maps. So, well, it's assumed they're maps. So, what was that? So, I just have to get some more. I'm almost out of my. I think I have one more package in the closet. I'll have to look. And you know, with all of them going yesterday and looking through the brush in the back of the house and all of that, like, did he dump something of hers out there? Did he? What was really scary tonight, though, was out at Annie's house. Um, there were some, um, oops, there were some, coyotes. There were some fire trucks that had, there's apparently a fire somewhere in the neighborhood, and there were coyotes that were howling, and it was just, I mean, we have coyotes out here, but I don't think I've ever heard that many coyotes in one spot trying to, um, howling and howling and you know, I'm sure the they could hear the sirens way before anyone watching the live could, um but yeah, you didn't see anybody, you didn't see them bring anything back out of the house. um you just saw um you just saw deputies getting back in their cars. Well, one deputy had taken a board out of the back of his truck, had gone inside with it, and then I think the other car they put the kit back in, but there weren't like any evidence bags or boxes or anything like that. Um so yeah, I just thought, I just thought it was kind of odd. I'm freehanding this. This is. Whew. See, where's my little fix-it brush? Here we go. See, I'm hoping we get Sunday morning. We wake up and. Excuse me. Good grief. I am making the base for what's gonna be Super Bowl nails tomorrow. Because every TV in my house will be commandeered, so figure while we watch, since my Lions won't be in there and I'm a little salty over that, figure I'm just gonna be neutral. I'm gonna be neutral cutsy, and I'm just gonna paint nails and eat tomorrow, and that's how I'm gonna. Well, yeah, that's the only reason I do this. Come on now. Go Lions. We got robbed. So robbed. Yeah, my heart's not in it. I'm excited. I heard the Clydesdales are coming back out. So if we're in the middle of painting nails, I'm gonna have to. Oh my god! You did. It was horrible. It was horrible. Next year, just wait. We're growers, not showers. Just wait. Joe, I have never been to a Lions game. I have been to Tigers games. I have been to U of M games. I've been to state games. I loved going to, my dad and I used to always go to opening day at U of M. And we were there the day that U of M got completely smeared by Appalachia State. And oh man, like literally there's only like 3 people in town when during spring break. The college is what makes up the town, but we got whooped on. Oh, that's cool. Oh, horrible. Now, I do like the fact that the Seahawks are blue and fluorescent green, just because I like that color combo, but that's about it. Now, when I lived in Flint, I lived next to a couple of cheeseheads. So we always had to rag on them, and we always had to scream, "Go Vikings" out the front door on game day. But and purple's my favorite color, so let's see. See if I can do this without steady hand, steady hand. No, we don't. Well, we kind of do now, but back in the day, we didn't. I'm talking the Roundtree and Robinson days. And we literally had the most kick-assiest drum major in all of college football. That dude could jump 25,000 feet in the air, swear, and land on both feet. Oh, yeah. Oh, I do agree with that. Like, literally, the minute you hit the border into Indiana or Ohio, it's like you don't even have to look, because all of a sudden you're like, like nice. And supposedly, so first of all, they upped our taxes on alcohol and cigarettes because that was supposed to fix the roads. And then it didn't. And then they were supposed to take money from our state lottery to fix the roads, and then they didn't. And then we got this governor that's a total pain in the butt, that her slogan was "fix the damn roads." And it's been 5 years? No, more than that. 6 years, and she still hasn't fixed the damn roads. And so now they are upping taxes on at dispensaries to fix the damn roads. So we'll see. We'll see if they actually use that money for that. Oh, I know. 75. I love it. I love it because I'm always in a hurry. Now, it's not everywhere. You still got to watch out because it'll drop down to 75, and then sometimes it'll drop down to 65 drop down to 70. Well, and honestly, depending on when you're driving in Michigan, the real speed limit is like 80. So, like, I don't know if you saw, Matthew, but like a couple weekends ago, Molly was in town. She was in Detroit for it was an award ceremony for her son. So I met up with her, and I terrified her because exactly. I mean, it's the apocalypse when we get nice paved roads out here. But no, it was so funny because I was scaring the daylights out of her driving around. I'm like, "We're in Detroit, girl. You gotta drive like this." And by the end of the night, she starts seeing all these people driving without headlights, zipping over 5 lanes of traffic. It's like tiny. It's like a mini LA. It's like a tiny 405 down there, and she's like, "I get it." She's like, "You have to drive like an asshole because if you don't," she's like, "everybody is just gonna drive right over you." I'm like, "Exactly." That's cool. I used to have long time ago. My grandparents used to live in Lima. So was that north, like, I don't know, northeast, something like that. I always fell asleep about the time we hit the Michigan border, so I really don't know where we went from after that, but I know there was lots of Amish out there. My grandmother would only, when my dad was in high school, would only let him date the Mennonite girls because she said she knew that they were virtuous. So, yep, lived right off of, get off at Blue Lick Road. Oh, okay. Oh, Bowling Green. Okay, so there was yep. Oh, yeah, I remember, yep, I've been to Mommy, been to Bowling Green. Um, the Big Boy, the Elias Big Boy restaurant in Bowling Green was my dad's favorite Big Boy in the entire world. So every time we went, we had to we'd have to stop at Waffle House, and then we'd have to stop at Big Boy too. And in fact, right off the expressway, the Bowling Green exit, there's like a Comfort Inn, or it used to be back. This would have been back early 2000s. There was a Comfort Inn, a Taco Bell, a Burger King, and a Subway. That was it. And we had to stay at that hotel when my grandfather passed away. And the only thing open, because it was Thanksgiving weekend, was this Burger King across the street. And we ate Burger King and all got food poisoning and had to sit at my granddad's funeral with food poisoning. I'm just starting to like figure out like StreamYard and stuff like that, because I want to do that. I want to drop links and be able to have, because like if you haven't noticed yet, I'm kind of a talker, and it would be fun to like have somebody up here to like talk while I'm like, creating beautiful art over here. But yeah, I've done a couple of videos with StreamYard. The only thing is that when I did, oh, it was horrible. We were so sick. We had to keep running to the bathroom, all of us. I had to get up and speak, and I hurried up and spoke, and then I ran in the bathroom and started just barfing. It was horrible. I didn't eat Burger King for like 10 years after that. Oh, it was horrible. But, yeah, I'm trying to figure out StreamYard. Thing is, the couple of times that I've used it, like nobody gets notified. And so I think I got to change my settings or something. But when I barely get any views, and then it doesn't go, like when I go live and do vertical, it goes out into the algorithm. But if I do the ones like either on my computer or through StreamYard, I think the last one I got was like 23 views. I can't because I'm on my phone. But I will. When I get StreamYard figured out, you are welcome to come hang out with me. You can do play-by-play. What I'm doing. So I'm dropping stuff and swearing and bumping my head on my table. Ooh, and I got a microphone too. So I can kind of control whether or not I'm screaming at people or not, because this is so funny. So speaking of Big Boy, I've said, if anybody new in here that doesn't know, my oldest son is autistic. He's on the spectrum, and he's very particular about food and where we go and how it tastes. He's got a very short list of what he'll eat. Well, anyway, we have this awesome Big Boy it's a little bit of ways away from us, but it's worth us driving because maybe that's why. See, I'm just using like the free, like just go on and like use it. So maybe I'll do that tomorrow. I'll figure all that out, and then I can because I'll have time and I'll have somebody to watch the boys while I'm hooking up my microphone and stuff like that. But no, it's so funny. So I like guilted them all into like subscribing to me on there, all the like waiters and waitresses and stuff, because they love us in there, and they're so great to my son. to both of them actually, just as making everything exactly. Oh, and Matthew's got an awesome voice. He would be really, really, really good at it. Trust me. Um, but no, so one of the managers, we went in there for dinner last night, and one of the managers was laughing. He's like, "Oh my god!" He's like, "You scared the crap out of me." I'm like, "Why? What'd I do?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He said he had fallen asleep with his earbuds on last night and was listening to something. And he said all of a sudden he wakes up and he hears me talking, and he's like, "Oh my god, where's she?" Like thinking I'm in the room. Like then he realized he had his earbuds on. I was like, "I'm so sorry." So awesome, sounds good, Mr. Matthew. No dirty pictures though. I'm just playing. Um, but yeah, so I scared the daylights out of the manager of our favorite restaurant with my, because apparently at the time I was excited about something. I think I was probably talking about this kidnapping case, and I got all excited and started getting all like, blah, 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 blah. No, and yeah, definitely email me because we got some, me and Mal's got some questions. Oh, clean all this off. I think this is a good start to some nails for tomorrow. Now I got it right, right? Patriots and Seahawks, am I right? Just thought about that. What if I was wrong? What if I did all this for absolutely nothing? See, I know I should oh, for sure. For sure. My guy's 16 and my littlest guy is just well our last well visit. Um his pediatrician wants me to take him in and have him evaluated because he was a preemie and I was an older mom. I was 43 when I got pregnant with him. A little COVID baby. And in fact, it's so funny because they say that these COVID babies aren't built like the rest of these babies. And here we thought, because he was so tiny and he was born early, that we were going to have to have him taken to um, the children's hospital in the city, the next city over. And but we didn't. He was born by C-section, and he came out. He was exactly 5 pounds, but he came out like a little slugger. And he actually, when they were trying to give him one of his shots, he actually grabbed the syringe out of the nurse's hand, and they had to grab it back from him. So, yep, that's my kid. But what's funny is now his older brother was verbal as all get out. I mean, it was like he took a while to talk, but once he did, he never stopped. And he was very clear and concise. And I mean, it was like, is this like this teeny tiny little adult? He's like Sheldon Cooper. And actually he just got tested again this year, and he is literally in the, what did they say? He's in like the 98th percentile. So there's literally only 2% of the kids in his school are smarter than him. I mean, he's definitely smarter than me. And oh, I'm telling you what, yeah, I actually got yelled at when I first came on here because I was telling a story about when with my first son, um, before he was diagnosed, just, and it really was almost like at 2 years old, there was a switch. There was a switch. Hello, Teacher Ann, welcome. Um, there was this big switch in him, and um, I started, because I had no experience before. It was my first kid, and I blamed myself. I thought, my gosh, how is this so much easier for all of my friends? And I'm just not. I just am not good at this mom thing. I can't make him happy. I can't make anyone happy right now. School's not happy. My son's not happy. Um, and then finally, when he got diagnosed and I started getting support and getting help, and, and back then, I mean, this is like 2013, 2014. They know so much more now than they did back then. But I mean, I was being told every day that I was a bad mom, that I'd have one person telling me I wasn't strict enough, another person telling me I was too strict, another person telling me that my son had emotional development problems, just all these things that just, yeah. And I finally realized I probably was what my statement was that ticked this lady off was, I finally realized I was probably a better mother than half the moms I knew, because I had to work at it 10 times harder than they did, And oh, definitely, hey, we have to have each other's backs, because it's a hard road to go down, and you can tell friends about it, but unless they've really been there, you have no idea. And bless them that they have no idea. But also know, anyone that's listening, for as absolutely heartbreaking and gut-wrenching as it can be to be an autism parent, it can also be one of the most wonderful things in the world, because we learn, and sometimes the hard way, to appreciate things that most people take for granted in life. And that just... And now my oldest son was very worried, saying, Mom, what do we do? What do we do if he has autism? And I said, you know what? And I think if your little brother does end up, we find out that he's autistic, that he's probably one of the luckiest little autistic kids in the world, because he has a mom and a big brother that understand already. And he doesn't have to go through all the stuff that my oldest and I had to go through to learn how to navigate this. So yeah, so that's me and my boys. I'm open to talking to anybody about that, definitely. So yeah. And only an autism parent can you email or text and be like, do you know what just happened in my house? And I'm not going to call anybody on you, because it's probably already happened to me, and I had to clean it up 3 times already, and I totally get it. So, oh man. No, I think I'm excited. I'm going to try to get up early tomorrow, because what I want to do is I want to work on some of the water slides for these, because I cannot paint like that lady that sells the nails for like $1,000. I can't paint like that. I do not have that gift. But what I can do is I can make some really cool decals. I can make them a couple different ways, and we can try and do that and make some really cool Patriots and Seahawks nails. So we'll see. We'll see. And if all else fails, then I'll just print them out while I'm on live with you. I can teach you how to make those too. I think before I go, I'm going to put one more coat of this white on, because that stick is showing through, and I want these to be really, really white. Some of these songs, these are supposed to be copyright-free songs, but they sound like songs that are not copyright-free. Oh, that's awesome, Tut Girl. Oh gosh. Honestly, that is literally one of the best gifts that you can give. Not just autism parents, but any special needs parents, is the gift of help and time. Because, that's... seems to be the one thing that I never have enough of. All right, awesome. I'll check it before I go to bed. Yeah, I think that's going to be better. Just one more coat of this white. Because that's the thing about the water slides, is they're on a clear film. So it doesn't have a white backing like a regular sticker. So you have to make your white so that the picture shows up. And then if you want to do something like something I've done before is I've actually taken like a sponge or something like that or a brush and just kind of brushed on the darker color around it, like in an aura, so that I don't have an entirely white nail, but my design still shows up. In fact, I don't have it with me. I gotta get out of my storage these Halloween nails that I have that I did that with, and the face on them is of it's of the nun from that horror movie. And so I painted the whole nail white, made the decal, put it on there, and then sponged black around it and did kind of like roses around, like black roses around her. Oh man, did it look cool. So cool. Oh, awesome. You know what? I will forward that on to Save Robbie because I know he'll like that one. And Marissa. I got to show Marissa that one, just FYI. Hi, Stone. How you doing? Good to see you again, girl. Getting my nails prepped. And I had to come on and freak out about the new updates with this kidnapping case out of Arizona of Nancy Guthrie. And no, I'm kidding. Don't do it. I'll make Marissa a t-shirt. She can wear it on her lives. No, don't worry. If it doesn't come from Hermes, she's not gonna wear a t-shirt. So I won't have to worry about that. No, you guys, it was so funny. Like, and she kept apologizing all over the place. And I just thought it was hilarious that as soon as we got to the good mall, she literally like opened. I didn't even stop the car. She like opened up the car door and like rolled like special ops all the way to 6th Avenue. I'm like, and I go and I parked the car and I sat there for a minute and got a drink of my pop and everything. And I go in there and I hear Court, I'm over here, and she's just giant smile on her face. And then when we saw the Hermes store, apparently that in that mall it's closed on Sundays, but I thought her eyes popped out of her head. It was so funny. I'm like, oh my gosh. Then the funny joke is there was this dress at Saks Fifth Avenue that I just absolutely loved. It was really pretty. It was like a black like underdress, like a tank dress, but then it had like a black lace over top of it with like these really pretty red roses, and it was just really pretty. Well, so, but it was out of my budget at Saks Fifth Avenue. So a couple days later, I was in Walmart and I saw a dress just like it, and I'm like, ooh wee! So I bought that. Michael Fellman worked for Grover Park and they do crisis management. Now, who is Michael Fellman? My brain's not braining right now. Oh, that's right. Yes. That's her second husband. Found out today that she had a marriage and my mind goes right to the Teppies, but apparently he's been checked and there's no connection or anything like that. But she was originally married to I think he was another journalist. And they were married from like 2004 to like 2009 or 2005 to 2009, I think they said. But that she has stated that she will never talk about that marriage, that It was embarrassing and humiliating, and she doesn't want to talk about it. All right, good night, Matthew. I'll talk to you later. I'll catch that email in a little bit. Have a good one. Sweet dreams. But so maybe I wonder, crisis management. Wonder if he's involved in like some of the statements or no kids with the first husband. And I know you do. We know you do. Who doesn't? She's gorgeous. Sweet dreams of lovely Marissa, Matthew. Yeah, no, it said no kids. And then she married her current husband, and they've had their great life together and everything. And that is odd too, and works with the NFL. And here it is, the week before Super Bowl. Oh, another thing, she just had a birthday. Night. I'll talk to you later. January 27th was her birthday, and I thought, oh, what a bummer. But that also means that she was just 84. So, yeah, hopefully. Well, and JLR is down there right now. And so he is streaming live every chance he can get, and he's also letting he's letting J for Justice stream him live too. But I was watching him. I couldn't watch either chats to see if anybody had any more information because they were flying so fast. But it was just wild. He had, what was it? Like, literally, I think he had over 30,000 people in chat. But that guy is just wild. He's almost got like 500,000 subscribers. And I started watching him during, if you guys remember a couple of years ago, that Carly Russell case out of, was it South Carolina? Where that young girl had left work that night and faked a kidnapping, had called 911 and said that she saw a toddler walking on the side of the road, screamed, left her wig in her car running, and then they found out that she had set the whole thing up. Well, that's when I started watching him, because I was sitting there scrolling through YouTube one night trying to find something to watch. And I see this guy walking through the woods. He's got a baseball cap pulled way down, and a bumblebee is sitting on the brim of the cap. And I kept looking at him like, at first I thought it was like a pin or something like that, like a decoration. And then I see him, he's got a box of Cheez-Its, and he's shaking this box of Cheez-Its around in the woods that was between the expressway and the neighborhood where I think she lived. Because she ended up just one day showing up, walking down the street, like a couple days later, probably when her money and her snacks ran out. But that was one of the things that she had bought, I guess, was a box of Cheez-Its, because it was like one of her favorite snacks. And so yeah, he was out in the woods shaking a bottle of or a box of Cheez-Its to try and find her. See, That's what we were saying earlier. That's exactly what we were saying earlier. Is the wording is so odd. And saying this and not she. This is very important to us, not she is very important to us. This is the only way we'll have peace. Something is weird. Something changed. Just the look on Savannah's face alone. And I mean, you can tell she's, and I still think, said, I was a hairdresser for 30 years, so I got used to reading people. You kind of have to, because people don't always come out and tell you what they want or who they are or what they like. You kind of have to learn. And you also have to learn if somebody's learn how to read somebody if they're going to be difficult before they even sit down. And it's funny, but I was very good at that. And the sister, now, to me, Savannah looked completely disheveled. Just completely lost, tired, numb, done. Annie looked like she'd washed her hair and dried it. It was kind of wavy. It was, I don't know. It just, again, we keep talking about this with all different situations that we've encountered on media lately. Is the whole people grieve differently. I get that, but see, I don't know, because like I said yesterday, I really didn't know who she was because I don't watch the Today Show or anything like that. He's a teacher, and he also is in a band. Now, two of his bandmates, one of them has quite an extensive criminal record. And again, that doesn't mean anything. There's plenty of people that made a million mistakes and they never do something like this to someone, And I haven't heard what that criminal record is. I mean, it could be, by along a shoplifting or something. So that wouldn't. But the other band member is a federal defense attorney. So that's interesting. They bought their house approximately a year ago. Like I was saying earlier, is any of us that have bought a house know that first year is one of the hardest because it's a complete shift in budget, in living and sleep and everything, So, and a lot of times when people they'll buy a house, and then as the year goes on, things start gradually getting harder, more difficult. I was a teacher's daughter. My mom was not rich, by any means. And yeah, that was the one I thought about that. I really thought about that at first. Because I remember the interviews. I remember, they were not fans of each other. But then I cannot remember if it was Megyn Kelly's expert or if it was Brian Enton's FBI expert, which I really like her, that expert that keeps going on. Brian Enton. She's got another podcast, and I keep forgetting to go sub up to it the minute that. Well, I don't know if it's on YouTube or if it's on Apple Podcast or anything like that. I'll have to find out. But they said they believed if it was political or if it had to do with the cartel, that it would probably be much more organized. That they literally do this for a living. It's a job that it would not have been basically they would have gotten ransom the day she was kidnapped, it would have gone along very, very by the book. That there's rules to kidnapping, apparently, unwritten rules, and see, that's kind of what I'm wondering too. Is she gonna come back tomorrow? No, they said in that second statement they're willing to pay. And Harvey Levin mentioned something about once the coin was paid, approximately within 10 hours, Nancy will be returned. Yeah, he went down there either this morning or last night. I'm not sure. Yep, he was down there, and um, his live feed is still up. He's not live, but you can see, I guess, from what he and Brian Netton both said, like Press and everybody was packing up for the night, and they were all done, and it was about 9 or 10 at night, and all of a sudden, boom, a bunch of shared deputies pull in, everything's blocked off again. Well, they were able to. They didn't block the whole street off like they did when they got the car last night. They just blocked the driveway off with their cars. They went in, and they were in there for about 2 hours. And what JLR said that he saw flash bulbs, like flash photography, going off all over, constantly, over and over and over again, in different areas of the house, but that the house lights were out. So, yeah, that was what. Well, I started watching Molly with Dre, but I had watched the laundry case. I was watching the laundry case on, what was it, WFLA, and didn't realize that I was watching, all those people. You had Bullhorn Betty, JLR, Molly, and I remember that we were sitting there watching the coverage the night that she put, or the day that she put that dirty laundry basket up on their porch, and we were like, oh, because I remember being so mad at Roberta Laundrie, why not? Those poor people, she knew what happened. She knew what her son did, her little baby boy. And I love my kids. If you take somebody's life, I'm still gonna love you, but I'm gonna be right there for you. But you're taking accountability, and that's what I'm thinking too. And that's what someone else had said. Was luminol. That they believe like they probably sprayed for luminol in there, turned off the lights, and were taking pictures to get it to fluoresce under the pictures. And the dentist. Well, didn't the dentist ended up being related to them? Like he was their cousin. He was his cousin or something like that. So they didn't use a forensic dentist from. That is another one where I think the ball got really dropped on that whole. And there's just something that bothers me about that whole thing. Is I remember as soon as I heard this happen, I went on to Instagram and I started following him and Gabby. Because I thought if we see anything, if anything pops up, I wanted to know. Think, maybe they did just get in a fight and she's on her way back from wherever and she's just going to be mad or whatever. I was being nosy, I'll admit it. And people kept saying that it wasn't him, that it was a hoax, but it was on his Instagram account that a video was shared of a boat. And this guy was tapping his foot on the side of the boat, and he was talking. He was saying, "I'm sorry, Mom. I'm sorry. I ruined all of our lives," and apologizing to Gabby, kind of similar to what was in the note, And then Dog the Bounty Hunter said he's going out to search islands in Cabo and all that stuff, and I don't know, weird. Well, this was at Annie's house, not Nancy's. And so maybe they just didn't even think, because Annie and Tomasho were the ones that reported her missing. So did they just not suspect them at all? You know, they talk about this area being so calm and so quiet and so friendly. They don't get crimes like this. And maybe they really just did think at first that it was a case of a missing woman wandering, an older woman wandering off. Well, that's the other thing that came up today that's weird. So the church, she hadn't gone physically to church in months, well, in years, since COVID. She'd stopped going. And she started attending virtually. But I heard originally that it was through Zoom. But then Megan Kelly came on today and said that she had talked to someone at the church, and they said no. What it is it's just like a live feed. And so you watch the video, you don't log in, you don't do anything like that, you're just watching. There's no interaction. But so then there either had to be like a YouTube video with a chat where maybe she would check in with people and say hi, and they didn't see her there, because now the story has changed that they were called by someone and said, hey, didn't see your mom at church today. And so they went looking for her for an hour, showed up at the house about 11:45, whatever, couldn't find her, realized she was missing, called 911 at 11:57. Isn't it? It is odd. So did someone call? And whose phone did they call? Did they call Tommaso's number? Did they really call? And maybe no one called, and he just said they did. To get this ball rolling of she's missing, someone took her. It's still kind of bugging me that, first we thought she was completely alone, but then they say, no, she's not alone. She has, during the day, she has someone there. And, you have lawn maintenance people, you have pool maintenance people. And nope, I haven't seen the 911 call yet. And I'm not sure. I've seen her with a picture of it looks like a black Labradoodle. But I have not seen any reports that was her dog. There was any pets or anything like that. But we don't know. The sheriff has gone so back and forth. Well, not necessarily, because it was the back door. And when they were showing the drone footage yesterday, the back area, that back door, looks like it came off of possibly part of the garage. Or if it was something in the house, it was a fenced in area. The fence connected around from the guest house up to like an area that looked like it was fenced off for them to be able to put like their garbage cans and stuff there so the animals didn't get into them. So if there was a dog, it would have just gone out into that kind of grassy area, and it would have been contained in there. Because then she had like a series of like fences. She had another one that came around to the side, and then here was the pool right here, and all through the back behind the pool, in that desert brushy area was where they were searching with flashlights last night, like literally getting in bushes and searching. I don't know. I honestly, things have changed so much. Usually, by this time, I've got quite a decent opinion of what I think has gone on in these cases, but something happened between. I mean, this is the thing. I get it. Tommaso and Annie were the last people that were reported to have seen her alive. Okay. But, and I understand that that makes them prime suspect number one, you know? I don't see. I don't think that because I would think that there'd be such backlash, and it could completely do the exact opposite. And I don't think, like looking at her, I don't think that she. I think this is somebody that's truly terrified that they've lost their mother. Um, no, see, that's just it. Like usually, I can say, okay, this is what I think, but I have like a million opinions of what it could be right now. You know, was it someone that she worked for? We've seen that happen before. Was the son-in-law in debt that his wife didn't know about? Like gamble. I mean, right anymore, you have a gambling app right on your phone. You can charge up hundreds of thousands of dollars depending on how your credit cards are and whatnot. Um, and so did they get an argument that night, or did he figure that she was not in the greatest of health anyway, and so he'd just hurry up the process to get his wife an inheritance to be able to pay this stuff off, maybe pay their house off. Um, it's so hard, and we don't know. It's one of those deals too. You don't even know who's telling the truth because the sheriff says one thing, FBI says another thing. Ashley Banfield, who she's getting guff because she came out with something that law enforcement wanted kept private because they didn't want it to hurt the investigation, possibly. But they haven't said she's wrong. They've just said, there's a family, they've kind of scolded her for being, you know, for being me first, me first, me first. But, and after she said what she said, her source told her that they put everybody on lockdown as far as talking about this. Well, I think, the border is, again, that's one of those things where it could mean something. It could mean that someone took her over the border, or it could mean just that they are, oh, no problem. Honey, I'm a stay-at-home mom. There's days I haven't talked to a grown-up in days sometimes, so if I'm on, come on in, okay? We can keep each other sane. If I have to hear Carl's Car Wash theme song one more time today, okay, I was gonna punch myself in the face. That's what was gonna happen. But it could also just be that, like I said, that because they're within, I think it was said like within an hour of the border, that they're just trying to make sure that they have all possibilities covered. If somebody did take her, and shoot her over the border. I would think, though, but also border police sometimes help agencies because, like, remember in Uvalde, it was border patrol agents that ended up coming in and taking care of that horrible school shooting that day. And So I think it's kind of like when I used to live in Flint. There is a U of M Flint campus there and a Kettering University campus. So, and Kettering is the engineering school for General Motors. And occasionally, because Flint City was so strapped, sometimes the campus police, who are also a branch of the Flint City police, would come out and help deal with situations. So I wonder if it's something just manpower. And um, JLR had said that he had heard earlier the FBI had completely taken over this investigation, but when the vehicles were pulling back out, he really he got his camera right in the side of the car and saw that it was a sheriff's deputy. So this was sheriff's deputies doing the search warrant. So yeah, not FBI this time. Um and so yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Hopefully tomorrow morning or something we'll have um some good news. I mean, just oh, thank you, driver. Anyone is new here, that is my nail website. So no pressure, but if you are interested in ordering a custom set, I have a contact me spot on the bottom of my homepage. But I also have some of my nail creations and sets on there for sale. So if you're interested, or even if you just want to be nosy and want to peek at my stuff, go ahead and go on there and look. Um, you're more than welcome to. And like I said, no pressure, because most of the stuff that I do, I try to teach on here too. So, and if you are new to the channel, please do me a huge favor and hit the thumbs up button and subscribe. I am really trying hard to grow my channel, and it's free and it helps me get out in the algorithm, helps more people see me. So I kind of joke around and say it can do one of two things. It can either get me more and more so I can give you more content, or it can put me into other people's algorithms so then you don't have to watch me or feel guilty because I don't have anybody watching me. So, well, and I don't think they're going to bring her home. Let's see. Within 100 miles near the border without special. Okay, so that makes sense then. So, yeah, so maybe they're just coming in as manpower, and also to maybe have that connection just in case, because, I mean, I'm in Michigan. We have two bridges that lead to Canada. So, a lot of times when there's a missing case, if it's near that area, or if they were seen on the expressways that lead to the tunnels, to either the tunnel or the bridge to Canada, then they involve, Border Patrol gets involved. And so, um, and I remember too, in the Sebastian Rogers case at one time, them talking about, someone found, it was like a warning or a wanted poster of him that had something to do with Border Patrol, and they were thinking, oh my gosh, somebody took him across the border. I think it's just that, just in case, someone, no, I am not. I used to be years ago, but I am not anymore. But which who knows if you can believe this or not, I just saw in, I think it was on Detroit, Fox Detroit, said that they have finally gotten the last piece of piping done in Flint. And so that now every single resident has lead-free water in Flint. And luckily, I moved out of there before they created the issue that caused this problem. Because what happened was, if anyone doesn't know, all of the pipes in Flint were 50 years or older from, when they built all these neighborhoods. And they decided to try and save money. Instead of getting our water from Port Huron, they decided to get our water from the Flint River. And so what they did was, the problem is the Flint River is disgusting. Okay? I wouldn't swim in it. I wouldn't, if there was no water except for the Flint River, I would die of dehydration. It's nasty. There are bodies found in there. There's a sewage plant on it. There are nasty fish in there. No, 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 no. But they got this bright idea to take this water through the sewage plant, and they had to use super harsh chemicals just to make it safe to be able to give to the residents. Well, in turn, these extreme harsh chemicals were corrosive to the already old and corroding pipes that had lead in them, and it leached all the lead out of the pipes. And unfortunately, a lot of the children and adults in the city were drinking that and were getting health issues from it. And in fact, one of my old neighbors, he and three of his children got really weird, odd cancers, and they all passed away within each one within a year of each other. And they lived right on the edge of the city and the township, but they still got the city water supply there. And it's just sad. Those, again, I was saying earlier, it's funny that you say that, because I was saying earlier, I believe it was on Netflix last night. It's either on Netflix or Prime Video, but it is the documentary called Flint Town, and it's like a mini series, and it's about 10 episodes, but it explains kind of everything that went on in the city right before the water crisis. And I should dig into that and tell that story on one of my crime casts, because I mean, this was not only did, and we had Aaron Brockovich here fighting for us, for, well, not for us, for me, because I wasn't part of it, but for these families. And it just, it brought out even more about the incompetence, about the dishonesty, about the people in power having these great lives while the people that they governed over were in poverty and they didn't care. And it just kept getting worse and worse and worse. And it really, at one time, was a beautiful, beautiful city full of beautiful homes. If you Oh, the movie, yes. Yes, that was a good movie. And they actually, I did not realize that she still was in practice, but she came here and she advocated for the kids and the citizens, just like she did in that movie. And but I think it's one of those things where, again, it didn't affect the right people. So, and you had years and years of, like, the good old boy gang in there, the good old boy network, that they were all buddies, they were all friends. They would, every election, they would go down to some of the poorest areas of Flint. Like, the north end of Flint is one of the poorest and most dangerous areas of Flint. But every time there was an election, these neighborhoods that nobody cared about any other time got newly paved roads in them. And around election time, our good old boys would get buses and they'd go down there and they'd pick people up and they'd bring them to the voting polls, to the polls. And they'd make them think that we're here for you. We're here for you. We want to get you out of this poverty. Meanwhile, Don Williamson, that was the mayor for years, was living in a mansion off Miller Road. And I know this for a fact because my ex-husband used to deliver pizzas when we were young, in our 20s. And he delivered pizzas to the Williamson's house. And Don would give him a penny tip every time. A penny. These people owned dealerships all over Flint, and he was the mayor of Flint. They'd give him a penny tip. That's not taking care of the people of your city. And oh, yeah. I'm going to have to rewatch that movie. I've been getting into, and I think part of it is just because of all of the stuff going on in the world, but I've really been getting into a lot of, like, watching, like, old movies and old shows and from my childhood. And I started watching the other day, It's on YouTube. It's called Brotherly Love, and it was the show that Joey Lawrence did with his two brothers after uh what was it called? After Blossom. Yeah, I think so. And it was on in fact, you might even be able to find it. Let me see. Oh man, it was so good. And one of my favorite officers was in it, Officer Frost. He is like terrifying, but awesome at the same time. Let me see if I can. Let's. Where's my. Oh, duh. Let's see. Oh, and it tells about the Cat Squad, which was the is it on here? I think when I watched on Netflix, it was free. Yeah, I don't see. I see the water crisis stuff, but um let me see. Nope, I don't see it on here. Yeah, check on Netflix or Prime Video. I think it was Netflix though that I saw it on. Landman, that's someone else was telling me about that one. Who was it? Was it Beirut Mom or Beirut Sister? Shoot. I think it was her. She was saying how good it was. I gotta catch up on some of my shows that I normally watch, and then I've got to start something new. I like having something that like we can watch on the weekends because my driver doesn't want to watch. Well, actually, funny enough, is he does watch Real Housewives of Orange County with me. So, and he says it's my fault that he's into it now, which whatever. Night Agent. I keep that's on my list, and I keep saying I wanna. Isn't that the one like the trailer is like he's sitting there and his phone rings and that girl gives him like a code or something on the phone? I want it. That's on my watch list. Oh, you said it is free on Netflix. Okay. I'm sorry. I thought you. I cannot read. I thought you said, is it free on Netflix? Another one that I loved on Netflix is it had, it's not Bill Pullman. It's the other Bill. But it was called The Sinner. Oh, so good. So good. That one was 4 seasons. And the other one that I really liked, and I don't know if it's still on there though. It was so good. It was called The Midnight Murder Club. And it was about all these kids that had terminal diseases that lived in this home. 4 seasons. Oh, that was hilarious. Now, one of the reasons why I had to watch that though was that movie. I've heard that's a cute one too. But that movie, The 4 Seasons, was one of my mom's favorite movies. She loved Alan Alda, and so we always had to watch the Alan Alda movies. And I convinced Driver to watch that with me, and he actually loved that. He was like, we both were like, oh my gosh, we couldn't wait to like watch the next episode. And It was really, really well done. And God, I just loved that one. And then what was the other one that oh, I love it. See, that's what's cool. My TV room's all the way down in the basement, so nobody can hear what I'm watching. Um, um, Another one that was good that was on Netflix, but it's pretty gory, so you have to be able to like gore. And it's definitely one that you don't want people hearing you watch because it's got gore and it's got sex and it's got all that stuff. But it's The Fall of the House of Usher, and each episode is a different title of a Edgar Allan Poe, either poem or novella, and the story kind of falls in line with Edgar Allan Poe stuff. So that's another really good one that I would watch that one again, actually. Yeah, it's called The Fall of the House of Usher. And oh, it is so good. It's about this big, rich, affluent family that has a ton of and funny enough, it came out right before all of this Puff Daddy stuff and this Epstein stuff and all that stuff came out, and that's basically what it is. This family kind of runs this entire town, and they start one by one becoming victims of their own behavior and their own life. And yep, The Fall of the House of Usher. Yep. And being shown to the public that they're not perfect and they have all of these kind of skeletons in their closet. And oh, the other one, the last one that I watched that right after The Fall of the House of Usher, was called, I think it was called The Judge, and that is another good one. It's about this judge who is a widow, and his son is out driving one day and accidentally hits and kills the youngest son of the most powerful mob family in the area. And it goes on through their, ups and downs through trying to get through that, keeping his son safe, taking accountability, all of that stuff. It's got that Brian Dennehy not Brian Dennehy, the guy that was in Breaking Bad and Malcolm in the Middle, the dad, or not Malcolm in the Middle. No, it's just like a mini series, but it was really good. I think it was like 8 episodes. They're usually like around 8 episodes, and it's a Netflix original. Yeah, oh, that was really good. That was really good. I watched that one, I think it was last summer. So, The Judge, yep. And it's got the guy, it seems Brian something. He was in Breaking Bad and not Malcolm in the Middle. It was, oh my gosh, I cannot for the life of me remember. And he was kind of a klutzy dad in this show. Bryan Cranston, yes. Oh, that was so stuck in my, you could literally hear it like bubbling in my head. Like it was stuck in my brain. Oh, yes. That's who it is. Oh, thank you. I hate that. I have too much stuff in my brain, I think is what the problem is, but but all right, guys, listen, was he the Malcolm in the Middle of the dad? Okay, so I'm trying. Oh, Gallo. Oh, you shush, okay? I'm still mad at you about Gallo Walkers. Not allowed to pick any movies ever because of Gallo Walkers. Okay, it was Wesley Snipes. For anybody that hasn't watched this, horrible movie. And apparently there's a sequel because it just wasn't traumatizing and torturous enough the first time. Wesley Snipes is a futuristic vampire slayer that is a vampire himself, so he's got to take medicine to keep himself from being... Does this sound like Blade by any chance? Medicine to keep himself from whatever. But he's not only hunting vampires, he's also hunting these weird zombie things that also kind of look like aliens. And he's walking across the desert, and you're not sure if he's in biblical time or if he's in the future. And then all of a sudden these things turn into these weird alien things. See, I liked Blade, yeah. But this is like they took like every... Hi there, Katie. We're doing good. At least I'm doing good. I'm trying to remember all these movies that I watched. I'm reliving this horrible movie called Gallow Walkers. But it was like they threw like every movie that Wesley Snipes ever did and tried to put it in like one movie. No, it's not the worst movie ever. Okay, there's another movie called The Neighbor that kind of tied in good with that. It had the, if you ever watched that show, Mom, Adam, that the mother married, it had him in it. Remember the Neighbor? And I don't even remember exactly what it was about because I think I blocked it out. It was so bad, but that was my movie, boo-boo. Everybody makes a bad decision about a movie, right? Thank you. I do need to drink water, Katie. I do. See, driver? You're not the only one that tells me to drink water. But, I loved that show. I have not watched it in forever. I haven't watched a lot. Since my youngest was born, I actually have not watched any, like, regular shows. I just kind of started this last summer getting back into trying to find, catch up on programs I hadn't watched in forever. And right now it's Real Housewives of Beverly Hills and also Below Deck. I've been watching that in the mornings when I get up. I watch that with my coffee in the morning. So then I can pretend like I'm somewhere where it is like tropical and nice, and I can just look at their tropical nice weather that they're having. And no, Below Deck is it's super yacht charters, and it's so funny watching all these like really rich people like act like total jerks. I have a circle water bottle, but I have not. I got to get it out of the package and use it. I've got a whole bunch of flavors. I need to try it. Can you put ice in your Circle water bottle? Or can you only do plain water? Oh! What was her name? Was it Gail? No, I know what you're talking about. What was her name? She was on like the first 2 seasons. Oh, I can't remember her name. Oh no, Beverly Hills, that's the Real Housewives. That's the one that's got Kyle Richardson on it. That's Paris Hilton's aunt. And Erica Jane. And who else? I'm trying to think if there's anybody like... Oh, she just started on it. She's like a fashion guru. Kathy Hilton's on it. Like it probably have to be like the little like crushed ice, huh? Because I don't think there's not a lot of room in that bottle. I'm trying to think of who else is on there. Dorit Kemsley. Oh my gosh. This new gal, she just started and I really like her. I love the way she dresses. She's Rachel Zoe. That's what she's, Rachel Zoe. Oh, I know what you're talking about. You're talking about Sandy. Yes. Yep, she is still a captain, and she does Below Deck Mediterranean. That's her season that she does. And then Captain Jason is below deck down under. And then there's regular below deck. And who was it? Was it Captain? It was Captain Carey, I think, that did regular below deck. If I remember correctly. Yeah. Yep, he sure is. Oh, I like it too. And my ex-sister-in-law used to live in Alaska. I loved it when she'd come visit because she'd bring me all these different products from there, like the fireweed jelly, and I actually got to try moose meat, which moose are cute. So they didn't tell me it was moose until after I ate it because I wouldn't have eaten it if I knew it was moose. But it was really good, and well, that makes sense. Yeah, because see, I have to have my water like ice cold. Because if all else fails, I can always just put a jug of water in the fridge and get it really, really. Hi, Miss Zoe. Ah, okay. I'll try that then. Oh, that would be so cool. North Pole, Alaska. I love it. I've heard too, oh, what is it? I don't think you have to go on a cruise. I think you can just take tours, but the whale tours and like the glacier tours. Oh yeah. Well, and also somewhere, or no, is that, don't they have like diamond mines there? I know they do up in Canada here, like out in the where there's like nobody at there's the Diavik diamond mines, but I thought they had like diamond mines out there too. Um, my great great grandfather was a coal miner in Wales. Oh, oh, that would gross me out. I accidentally did that with I don't know what I was thinking, but what I was doing was taking like the small bottles and just mixing like a little bit of water in them so that I could add them to my big giant water like as the day went through, and and that they'd be like ice cold like as I did that. And oh, I took a drink out of one of those one time and just about took myself out. It was so gross. Oh, I haven't tried any yet. I've got them. I've just got I have the bottle, and then I've got grape. I think I've got like a cherry cola one. They have fruit punch. Fruit punch is always seems to be my favorite, and no matter what, like if I'm doing the packets and stuff like that. Um, and I know the packets are supposed to be worse for you. Um, see, this is not a copyright free song. I know that. Um, I don't like that it sneaks in little. I don't want my. I don't want any little yellow. There we do that. I don't want any little yellow triangles next to any of my. Oh, I'll have to try that. I like Sunkissed. Um, I've been I have been what I really like is it's Kool-Aid Zeros, and they have the fruit punch. I like that one. And I can actually get my kids to my youngest to drink that one. Um and they have grape, and I can get my oldest one to drink that one. But eh, I don't know if I want to go on a cruise. All the things you hear about those cruise ships. Remember the poop cruise? You made me watch. You should have never made me watch that documentary, driver. The poop cruise. If you had, nope, nope. Oh, see, I'm a Coca-Cola drinker, so I either drink Coke Zero or regular Coke. I'm trying to just switch completely over to Coke Zero because it's, I mean, it's still not good for me, but it's better than drinking all that sugar. So, oh, it was gross. They had their whole like sewage system and everything backed up. And all of these people got sick. And they were literally having to like go to the bathroom in their waste baskets in their room. And well, see, I don't like cold coffee, so I probably wouldn't do the coffee ones anyway. Um and like, yeah, oh, I have to have hot coffee, and I drive driver nuts because I lose my coffee during the day because I'll go put it in the microwave, heat it back up, and then walk around the house and I can't find it, and then somebody goes to make a burrito and there's my coffee. Um, I was the same way. I was drinking like 10 to 12 cans a day years ago, and um, it was before I had my first son actually, and I ended up just going to straight water and lemon water and um things like that. And I lost before I had him, I lost 85 pounds. And then I only gained like 10 or 15 pounds when I had him. And I was good for a while afterwards. And then I started getting, it wasn't when he was first born, it was when he started being more aware and more awake. And so I was getting less sleep. And I started drinking regular Coke because I needed the caffeine and the sugar. And it was like, it took me 2 weeks and boom, I was like back on it. Like, oh, it was horrible. Um, but no, I need to get back to that. And oh, and that's the thing is I really don't eat that much. And that's one of the things driver says, he's like I don't get it because you don't drink that much, but it's all of that sugar because it's just empty calories. And it puts the weight on super quick. And it drives your A1C up through the roof. Mine was almost at 7. So I've got to go back to my doctor, and she wants to put me on, I think she said it's called Mongiorno, I think is what it was. Oh, and see, mine too. My thyroid is completely just, but she said she wants to deal with one thing at a time. And it was really weird. Like I said, my last son I got pregnant when I was 43. So I was an older mom. They call it a gerontological. I probably massacred that word, pregnancy, where, it's old lady getting pregnant is what it is. Anytime you're over, I think it's 35 or 40, they consider it that. Geriatric pregnancy. And, but man, you don't realize when you're young how much pregnancy really takes out of your body. And after I had him, just one by one, I started having all these health issues between thyroid, autoimmune. I my I have carpal tunnel and cubital tunnel. That got horrible afterwards. And I also found out I have degenerative disc disease. So standing up in a salon for 8, 9, 10 hours a day just was not doable anymore. And so that's how my business came about, because I love doing hair and I love doing nails, and I can't do nails online. Can't do hair online, but I could do my hair or other people's, but I can't, offer that service. But I thought I started, and I really had kind of a bad attitude about press-ons when I first started doing it, because I thought, ugh, I always went and got my nails done at the salon, and I mean, the experience is nice, but some people just can't afford that. And so that's how my nail business came about, because I started thinking, okay, these don't have to be cheap. They don't have to be the little Lee press-ons that we all grew up with that broke in half or flung halfway across the room, or, had the weird color. And the best glue is this. I love this stuff. It's by Sally. You get it at Sally's Beauty Supply if you have one of those. Or if not, I think someone told me that they found it on Amazon, but it's by Beauty Secrets. It is the drip proof, clog proof nail glue. Now, it is not completely clog proof and it is not completely drip proof, but it's one of the best. I just, if you're putting on press ons, the secret the secret to success is using a good nail glue. This is one of the best. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. And I love it because because being drip proof, it is a little bit thicker. So it really gets in and it spreads on that nail and on the press on nail evenly. So you can get a nice good bond between the two of them. But one of the things you want to do, it's in between. So it's not complete, it's not gel and thick, but it's not watery like regular super glue where you just squeeze it and it goes everywhere. And you want to rough up the underneath of the nail the part that's gonna go over your nail and rough up your nail a little bit. Just with like a 200 grit maybe, just 220 maybe, just something real, just to rough it up. That puts little etchings in both sides. So what happens, you put the glue on here and then you swipe it across your nail. Oops, swipe it and then lay your nail down and rock it down to push all that air, all the bubbles out, everything, and then press it. Use that pressure because this glue it dries by pressure, it bonds with pressure. And I swear to you, if you do that, my sets last me 3 to 4 weeks. And I'm a boy mom. I'm always cleaning up something from to scrape something off of something. I use my nails like tools. Don't do that, by the way. Don't do that. But I do that. Yes, the teeth. This is girl says my mom had me in her mid-20s and she didn't know she was having me, so her teeth got ruined. A lot of my family lose their teeth from pregnancies. My great-grandmother had dentures by 30. That is something that my dentist warned me about. He said he really wanted to make sure that I was really vigilant about taking care of my teeth because being pregnant sucks so much calcium and things out of your teeth that he said many women, their teeth get horrible during pregnancy. And if you already have I was lucky, I have very strong teeth, but like my ex-husband, he had cavities everywhere. And he went to the dentist, he took care of his teeth. His teeth just were like that. And easy. I texted you earlier. You're supposed to text me back, fool. No, I'm kidding. I love you. Yeah, no, I do sell my sets. In fact, this is. Oh, window. I got too many windows open. There's that's my website. Like I said, no pressure for anybody to buy. But if you want to click on that, on the homepage is some of the things. But if you click shop, you don't have to buy if you click shop. But when you click shop, it brings up on the side all the categories. So if you don't want to have to look through everything, if there's something specific you want to look at, you can click on the categories on the left and you can go right in and it shows the pictures and the prices. And I also do custom sizing and custom designs. So if you're interested in something like that, on the homepage, you can go right to the contact me at the bottom, and that goes right to my business email. So I will get it. Oh no, did you pack your phone? You did, didn't you? You packed your phone, didn't you, Easy? How are you liking it? Okay, cool. Cool beans. Yeah, I don't know how to make I don't know how to do the link of like if the links work or not. I can never get it. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Well, I'll tell you, when my mom couldn't find her phone, ended up finding it it was in her dresser drawer. It got set in there and then clothes got set on top of it. I don't know why. No clue why. Oh yeah, for sure. For sure, for sure. I want to see your new place. I'm trying to get this place together after Christmas and everything, and still out trying to figure out all the house stuff and what you need help with. Same here, Stone. Same here. I lose my keys and my phone every day. And it drives driver crazy. He just can't even handle me. It just But then he makes me mad because I'll be like stressing out trying to find it, and he's like, "Well, where was the last place you had it?" Like, seriously, if I knew where the last place I had it was, then it wouldn't be lost, right? Am I right? I'm right. Oh, I bet. Well, you were in that other place so long, that was, But you know what? Said everything happens for a reason, and sometimes life makes you get up and move when you need to, because life knows that you won't do it on your own. Oh gosh, my bank card. I was horrible about that for a while, but now I got this new wallet that I really, really like. So I make sure that I don't ever lose it. And I got it off Facebook, off somebody on Facebook that did leather work. I don't even know who they are, if they're even still on my Facebook anymore, but it's got a really cute little skull with a pink bow on her head. So I don't want to lose that. So, and I always put my bank cards right in there and then in another pocket in my purse so that I can't lose it. So even if they fall out of that, then they're right there, because yeah, I'm horrible about that stuff. And deodorant, that's another one. When I move out of this house, I'm probably gonna find like 457 sticks of deodorant all over the place, because oi. Oh, that's good. So you probably feel, so at least you can like, ouch. At least you can like talk to the outside world. And trust me, it's probably good that you didn't have internet and that you can't find your phone, because YouTube in the crime and drama sector has been blowing up. Okay, I mean, blowing up. I don't even, like, I'm scared to watch myself anymore, okay? At this point, I don't even know what to do. See, that's what happens. See, we make fun of somebody else for doing it, and then our karma comes back, and it happens to us. See? Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. I don't, like, seriously. Like, I got all these people I don't even know popping up on my timeline, talking about everybody. I'm like, I'm just over here following this poor missing lady and doing my nails, and oh man. Said I am fine to be in I'm in the middle lane. And I didn't know you knew Tuck Girl. See, Easy, you gotta start coming in more, because you start finding all your old friends, see? Hanging out here in the middle of the night all the time. Matthew Silly AF was in here earlier. You missed him. Who else was in here? Lisa was in here. I don't know if I can't remember if we saw It's Me Morgan tonight or not, but I saw her over at Molly's earlier, so I can't remember. See, that's what happens. It gets late and then I can't remember where I was when I talked to somebody, but yeah, no, it is. Shoo! We gotta have a phone call, because it's a lot. It's a lot to catch up on. I don't even know. Like I said, I'm afraid to even be friends with myself right now, because everybody's mad at everybody. Oh, I know. I'm so glad. I just want this to go by, get through. I want spring. Oh, I can handle things a lot better when I can at least sit out on the front porch on a nice day, have a glass of tea, just chill. And that's something. I have a nice big front porch. And I've got these awesome wicker chairs and my mom's wicker rockers that I can sit in. And, oh, she's probably sleeping. She made dinner and I think she was going to have to, foot the bill with Adrian tonight. I think is what she said. So, Michigan weather is gross and cold and we don't like it. Hello, ink droplets. Welcome. Um, yeah, no, we don't like it at all. Everything's frozen right now. I got stuck in the end of my driveway yesterday. Stuck. My oldest was outside pushing the car, still couldn't get up. We had to sit there and rock it back and forth, back and forth. No, I'm not. This is me. This is the real me. And finally, I just like put it down in low gear and just hammered it, and we slid sideways up the driveway. I ended up sliding into the wrong parking spot, um, but yeah, that was it. And I'm like, I don't care. We're parked. We're good. We're done. We're done. Turn it up. Put it in park. Turn it off. We're done. I'm going inside, and I'm not coming out for a few days. Oh gosh. So far this year, it's not negative 120. Good grief, we'd be dead. But negative 20, yes. Negative 120. It feels like it. But there was a couple of years ago that it got so cold out that it was literally with the wind and the snow and the ice. It was so cold it didn't snow. It was negative 40 with the wind chill out. And driver got stuck on the side of the expressway in Indiana overnight with no gas because the truck tipped to the right. So and he had a full tank, but all the gas went in the auxiliary tank that doesn't have a feed. And so he got stuck there. Yep, these are what they are is they're little they're just the very beginnings of some nails I'm going to do tomorrow for Super Bowl. So for every TV is already spoken for in my house. So while everybody's watching football, I'm going to sit here and watch the game. And since I was a Detroit Lions fan, and I'm just salty about the Super Bowl, I'm just going to be neutral and make designs for both teams. Oh gosh, 17 is warm. They did, and I had my sweatshirt on and everything easy. I was so sad. Oh man. And I had Matthew ragging on me. That was even worse. Yeah, I think the Patriots will probably win too. I mean, but you never know. He's in the TV room next door to me, I think. He's either that or he's in bed. I don't know which he is. Well, thank you, Sarah. He was watching what was that, Live on Patrol? Watching everybody get arrested. I like that show. I like Lieutenant Danny Brown. Oh my gosh. Oh, what's up with this pop-ups? Why am I getting pop-ups? And I think he's from Mississippi. There's this police chief that I just love on there because he'll be like in the middle of this like super high speed chase and like pit maneuver somebody, and then he's out there like telling them, like counseling them and telling them, it's gonna be okay, don't worry about it. I'm like, that's so nice. Oh, Green Bay. See, my old neighbors were Green Bay fans, and game days, this was when I lived in Flint, game days were really interesting. So we'd always have to scream like, "Go Vikings!" Oh no. That's what my dad always used to tell me. My dad, okay, now brace yourself, everybody. My dad was a Buckeye fan. So, yes, I am part Buckeye by blood. And that's what he always said. When I, grew up and got married and moved out, and my ex husband was a U of M fan, just strictly U of M. And, yeah, I know, right? See all these little dirty little secrets I have that you don't know about, easy. But that's what he told me is that when I moved out of the house, he they are really good, aren't they? My grandma always used to make Buckeye candies every Christmas. I loved it. But yeah, he grew up in Ohio, so but um yeah, Ohio State and the Cincinnati Reds. Yeah, yeah. I'm a Reds fan too. I can't help it. As long as they're not, as long as none of my teams are playing my teams here, then I'm good. But um but yeah, so he swore that it was my fault when they would lose because I was at home watching the U of M game and not the OSU game. So I had to start watching it. The Mott Bears. Do they even still have a team? Oh, man. My dad did get to, when he was a little boy, he got to meet Bob Felder. He was a pitcher for, I think, the Indians. So he was, and my dad was having his appendix out, he came into the hospital he was at and was visiting the children's ward. And when he asked my dad who his favorite baseball player was, my dad said Babe Ruth. Sorry. Quarter snails? I don't know what quarter snails are, but I can Google it and I can try. Oh yeah, I'm not sporty anymore, but I used to be. I used to play softball. Not anymore though. And well, now my youngest, he's gonna be like probably a football player and a drummer because he's like little tank. But um, oh, I like the. Did you mean coffin nails? Hello. Did you mean coffin nails? Maybe. Yeah, I can do those. Yeah. Yep, I can do coffin nails. I've got on the website. I've got some examples of some of the ones I've already done, and um, yeah, that's just a matter of shaping. Just a matter of shaping. And in fact, I had the last state. See, just a second. This is playing a bunch of songs that I know are not. I'm gonna just turn that off because that playlist is gonna get me snagged. Um, but I originally had stilettos on my ring fingers for to make a like icicle an icicle design. And then when they got too long, I just cut them and then they turned into coffin. So KJ Wright, I have never heard of him. I'm not good with knowing like players' names and stuff like that. I used to know the Detroit Tigers in the 90s and before that my dad was, Kirk Gibson, all those guys, and I got to meet what was his name? Bobby Higginson. And I had this huge crush on him. I was all excited about meeting him. Oh, I love Brandon Inge. In fact, when Brandon Inge first came to the team, I friended him on Facebook. I thought it was his fan page, and it wasn't. It was his actual real page. And he accepted me as a friend. And like I got to see like some of his kids born and like not born, but I mean, like the pictures of him like showing, new baby or whatever on social media. And I thought that was funny. But I liked Brandon Edge. And he was cool. We got to meet him too. I've got his signature somewhere. Um, Bobby Higginson, total jerkbag, total jerkbag. And I remember he was really dumb. He had huge issue trying to figure out how to I literally had to write my name on a piece of paper. And I know it's spelled weird, but I'm telling him letter by letter, and he's like, and he was mad because he didn't want to be there signing autographs. And I thought, you know what, jerk? I just paid $45 for a ticket to go see you guys lose for like the 100th time in a row. Okay, be a little nicer, sign my friggin' card. I mean, just so I was not sad to see him go. Not at all. And I used to be a Texas Rangers fan too, as long as they weren't playing Detroit. But oh, really? I didn't know that. That's cool. What was that other guy? Yeah, I'm just doing the base coat. This is for tomorrow. I figure while we're watching the Super Bowl and stuff, I'm gonna try tomorrow morning to get up and make some decals and then just try and do stuff because like I said, I'm totally neutral in this Super Bowl. I'm in it for the commercials. I'm really waiting for the Clydesdales. And I think I'm gonna make meatball subs tomorrow. So that's the biggest thing that I'm looking forward to tomorrow is like getting in my pajamas and eating meatball subs. Because Marissa made meatballs tonight, and I'm thinking, oh, that sounds good. Which that's what I gotta do when I get off here. I need to take the meat out of the freezer, or we will not have meatball subs tomorrow. And I've been craving them. And it's really not that expensive to make. And I don't know. I'm wondering. I always love the Clydesdale commercials. Um, It's gonna be interesting. Last year, I was really disappointed in the commercials, and heck yeah, I saw some balls. Perfect for the Super Bowl. I'm rooting for the Detroit Lions, driver. I need to get her meatball recipe. I mean, she said it 100 times on, but I never, I'm usually too busy staring at the food here in the frying, trying to think of what I'm gonna eat when I hear her cooking. Yeah, I know she uses beef, pork, and veal. Um, and then what garlic? We know absolutely no onion, right? Absolutely no onion. I know garlic and salt and pepper. Now mine are yeah, right, easy. Money, 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 money. Mine, I just do beef, garlic, salt, pepper. My secret that was an accident that actually works really well, and you can use any cheese crackers, but cheese goldfish crackers. I crunch them up in a bag really, really fine. I roll them with like a bottle, and because I don't have a food processor, and I throw that in instead of breadcrumbs, and then a little bit of spaghetti sauce. Mix that all together, and then bake them in the oven, and then throw them back in the sauce. Oh man, I'm telling you, I that totally was. Oh, excuse me. I that halftime show with I was but that just totally sent me back. Hi Taffy, welcome. Thank you. Oh, see, I have still thank you, Tucker. I'm still holding on to this dumb old cold. Like it's not in my chest anymore, thank goodness, but my sinuses, they will not stop. I wake up plugged every morning. And what earlier this week I had nosebleeds. And I mean, it was horrible. I sneezed and I went to go wipe my nose and just it looked like a crime scene. It was horrible. So hopefully I don't know. Cause then spring's gonna start. My spring allergies will start back up. I feel like Urkel, like or not no, what was it on Big Bang Theory, Leonard? He always had his inhalers and his nose sprays and everything. And oh, well, see, that's the thing. My house is super dry. Like my skin is just Oh, maybe that's it. Maybe it's because I'm so dry, it's like overproducing or something. But I literally feel like a raisin right now. And I was getting ready to get in bed. Um, oh, definitely, definitely. And yeah, because it's trying to get out whatever's in there. It's bugging me. But no, I went to put on foot lotion last night. I got into bed, take my socks off, and I literally, I swear to you, you could hear it soaking in. I was so dry. I'm like, oh my gosh. And I put lotion on my hands and my feet every day, but um that's a good idea, yeah. Because I turned off the dehumidifier, but just having, I think it's so cold right now. My furnace is turning on like every half hour. It's running, and so I think that's the biggest. It just keeps drying out, drying out. Because yeah, I turned off the dehumidifier, which I usually always have on, but I figured we were all getting so sick constantly and having so many issues, and it has gotten better, but. And you know what I've got? I was just thinking, um, oh man, it was so my mom's house. We do have one. I was just gonna say in the laundry room, the Winnie the Pooh one. We can put that up in the living room. It's a cool mist one. I mean, I don't care if it's Winnie the Pooh. The boys will like it. But no, right now, I'm taking care of my mom's house too. Now, the only thing that I have on in there is a lamp. There's nothing else running. Um, and her last bill was it was like $160. Hello, marvelous Jesus. Um, and all of that was gas just from the furnace. Like there was barely, I mean, like maybe a couple bucks in electric, but the rest of it was just oh, I learned a trick with that. Soak it, rinse it out with vinegar after you're done using it, and that will prohibit mold growth. They had me do that with my older son when he was little. He would get he didn't have asthma, but he would get once a year this really bad bronchitis, and they would give him the nebulizer. And so they always had me soak all those parts, even the hoses, in I think it was like 1 part vinegar, 2 parts water. Um and um soak it, and it gets rid of oh, and no, that's not her water and sewage. Oh my gosh, I just about had a heart attack with that one too. But yeah, he's had me soak everything in it, and he said his doctor said that it would prohibit the mold growth, and it never got moldy or yucky. And then you just let it air dry. Don't wipe it off. Just let it air dry, and you'll be good to go. No, we got the water bill, and like I don't really. I figure. I mean, I know. I try to figure out like how many gallons I'm using. I try to be wary of that, but our water bill is about the same. We get billed every 3 months for our water bill. So it's about the same every month. And um no, I just got the water bill for my mom's house the other day. It was $157. Okay. When I went down to look at the water usage, it was zero. Zero water usage. That $147 was what was it called, driver? It's water readiness fee and sewer readiness fee. That's all it is. It was 2 fees and zero water usage because I mean nobody's over there, you know. Not, I mean, when we are, we're not using the water. We go to the bathroom in our own house, and because I already cleaned the bathroom, I don't want anybody messing it up. And sometimes I don't. I have a basement, so all of my plumbing is in a heated basement. But like some of my friends live in trailers, and they have to run their sink at night to, and it's still sometimes it's still one of my friends on Facebook had put up a picture the other day of she had all these heaters under her kitchen sink because overnight just the cold air leaking in from the window above the sink was enough to freeze the elbow pipe underneath, and her whole sink was frozen. So um Now, we just had an issue this week too with our sewer, and whether or not it was tree roots or everything was frozen, but I was putting down boiling water down the sewer, everything, because everything like backed up. And I thought, oh no, not, it didn't go, thank goodness it didn't spill over into the house or anything. It stayed in like the wash tubs, the laundry wash tubs in both basements. But I'm not sure. I'm sure you probably could. Because I know they do, they've got that pipe tape that like the trailers and stuff use, but we've had a couple winters where even that hasn't helped. In fact, a girl I used to hang out with, she's now moved into a regular house, but her first home was a trailer, and we had a couple winters that were so cold that they had to put those big good morning, little St. James Island. Welcome. And hey, if there's anybody new here, if you haven't yet, please hit that thumbs up button for me and the subscribe button. I'm trying to grow my channel, and subscribe and like are free, and it helps get me out in the algorithm and helps more people see me, helps my numbers grow, and I would greatly appreciate it. Um, but the other problem with that is then you have like lots of house fires because, and in trailers, they go up so fast because you've got the salamander heaters are kerosene, but they blow, a straight flame right out the front. And trailers are, you know, they don't have a lot of structure, and a lot of styrofoam, a lot of plastic, things like that, and they go up really, really fast. So, um, it's scary to think of having to heat underneath of your house like that. So, thank goodness we don't have to worry about that. But I know there's a lot of people right now with salamander. It's a big heater, and to me, it looks like a rocket ship, like the engine on a rocket. And you pour kerosene in it and light it, and plug it in. It's got a big blower motor in it, and it blows a big flame out the front, and then it blows air out almost like a giant blowtorch. And it like blows underneath and blows all the air, and it's supposed to heat up the underneath, but it's at certain points it's just so cold that you might be able to get one part of your pipes unfrozen, but unless you have multiple ones, yeah, it is dangerous. And I used to worry every time when she would call me and tell me that their pipes were frozen, because they would literally go to bed with this heater on, and when you'd walk across the floor of like the kitchen where it was like linoleum, it was literally hot to the touch. Like your feet would get hot. And then you also have when we've had some of our ice storms, it weighs on the power lines, and we get power outages. And you have people with their generators, and they have them like right next to the house. And if there's a window leak or something like that, we've had people get carbon monoxide poisoning and be found the next day. And it's because their generator was too close to their house, and it was piping in, which they didn't realize it, carbon monoxide. And they're just trying to keep their home from freezing, because it was really bad. We had years ago, it was early 2000s, I'd say, a really horrible like 2-week jaunt of below zero temperatures. We had ice storms, and at that time I was doing hair, and a lot of my clients, my Thursday and Friday clients, were my older ladies, and they were called what we call here snowbirds. And they usually go through Thanksgiving, and about end of November they travel down to Florida. They have other houses in Florida, and they stay there for the winter. And unfortunately, a lot of them came back to flooded basements because the pipes burst, because there was no power for 2 weeks and there was nothing they could do. By the time they would drive up from Florida, or I mean, they did drive up, but when they did, it was too late. Everything was already burst. I did not know that. Ooh, I'm gonna remember that for next time. Yeah, because they've got that stuff that's got the anti-freeze stuff in it. Ah. All right. Good night, driver. I'll be up in a few. I'm gonna finish this up and then I might get a snack. I'm kind of craving some crackers and cheese, but I don't know yet. I haven't decided yet. But shoo, it's 4 o'clock in the morning. I didn't realize that. I was having fun talking with all you guys. So on that note, I am gonna go to bed because my little person will be absolutely full of it because it doesn't matter if he sleeps 2 hours or 10. He always has enough energy for 1,000 people. So yeah, and I've got some really good it's these little cracker by Cracker Barrel. I think it is little pre-cut cheese slices and oh, I don't know. I'll have to check. We have a place that's north of here and it's called Williams Cheese Factory. And it's where they make pinconning cheese, which is like a really like famous cheese, I guess. I don't know. I mean, it's good cheese. It doesn't like stand out to me, but they sell a million different kinds. I'll have to check there because I love just about any kind of cheese. Um, on New Year's, I bought us some. It was this Boursin cheese. It was garlic and herb. Oh my gosh! And someone in Marissa's chat the other night was making a pasta dish with that cheese and like olive oil and garlic and oh, it just sounded so good. So no, I'll have to look into hoop cheese. Tonight it's gonna be Havarti or Colby. I'm not sure yet, but and then I've got some um they're just little fancy water crackers, which is just basically expensive saltines, is what I've figured out. We'll have to check that out. I've seen in the grocery and in our one like gourmet food market that has um like little wheels that are wrapped in red. I wonder if that's it. I'll have to check it out. I like Swiss cheese melted. I don't know what it is. There's something about it. I've got a fondue recipe that use Gruyere and Emmentaler, which are both just really, kind of gourmet Swiss cheeses. And I don't like it like to cut off a chunk to eat it. I don't like it. But when it's melted in there, oh man, it's so good. Maybe we'll have to make that one of these nights. Have a fondue party. I will. Yes, good luck to you. I'm glad I could get you through your hearts. That sounds really cute. So, all right, guys, I am going to said do a snack and head to bed because it's 4 o'clock in the morning and I will have to be up pretty early. So, no, I have only been to Ohio, Indiana, and Canada. I'm a very boring person. I'd like to go sometime though. I have family in Texas. And I also have family in South Carolina. So, oh yes, yeah, I'm EST. So I'll remember that. I'm trying to remember everybody's time zone. Well, not everybody's. I mean, but like just general, so that I can kind of. Well, but you know what? Best laid plans. Every time I think I'm going to be on at a certain time, something happens. Somebody needs something. Something breaks. Somebody's hungry. Somebody's something. So, so. Oh, that's on my bucket list. I definitely want to go to Myrtle Beach one of these years. My family has timeshares on there, and so I'd like to go. But oh, cool, cool beans, tuck girl. I will remember that. All right, guys. I love you to pieces. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. And yeah, it was a great chat tonight. I really enjoyed it tonight. We talked about we started out with true crime and ended up talking about everything under the moon. Those are the best nights. So, all right. Peace, love, and claws, y'all. I will talk to you tomorrow for Super Bowl 2026 and some claws. Night night.